And this comet appears in the marriage constellation, but the wife still had to be purified. And where is this comet after a year? Should be in the king's house or something else. The treading of the winepress. You know it is the winepress comet. It comes here, went a long way through Gemini and other constellations, and then in this beam here, it comes down. And we painted it last time until the opening of the winepress. And said, oh, that's confirming our rapture date at the cross, 21st of December. But this is only the lid of the winepress. The whole winepress is the tail of Scorpius. The winepress is death of all the enemies of Jesus and his people. But we learned that Jesus would tread the winepress alone. Now, with what body part do you tread a winepress? With the hands? With the nose? No? With the feet. Right? So what we should have more looked to than the lid of the winepress is when does comet C 2025 A6 reach the feet of Jesus and activate the feet for the treading? Bad news. It's exactly on the 3rd of January 2026 when the comet has reached the feet of Jesus, so that these feet can tread the winepress of the enemies. Don't be left behind. If you are left behind, when you're not in the car, then you will be treaded by those feet. And because it's the very same day, it's exactly what Revelation 14, verse 15 says, the winepress will be trodden without the city, without the holy people in the city, in the car. After our departure, on the very same day, Jesus will begin to tread the winepress. Serious stuff. It's the wrath of God, of course. What is this A6 comet? Is it only a revelation comet? Is it only a Gemini sickle comet for the wine vintage? Or is it even more, has it to do even something with the Old Testament? Let's first read what the people that are left behind will do on that day. That's in Revelation 6:15 to 17. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, everybody, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. The Lamb is Jesus crucified. The wrath of the Lamb. Jesus crucified, treading the winepress. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Think. These are pagans. These are not Christian Jews or people that do not know the true biblical calendar. When can non-believers, non-Christians that do not understand the Bible say the great day, which means the great year, has come? On New Year, on pagan New Year only. So this is 3 days before the rapture, when they know already that the wrath has come, that Jesus had made himself manifest through Three-Eye Atlas, and you will see. And faith is not possible anymore. Then you see that it's over. And when you're on the wrong side, you belong to the 5 foolish virgins. You have not entered in, and we come to that, with the 5 wise virgins. And then in the Old Testament, we have a wonderful image, the image of Nebuchadnezzar's statue. Also a dream, a biblical dream. And in the end of the dream, and Daniel explained it to the king of Babylon, thou sawest till that a stone, a comet, was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. What did we learn is there? Clay. In the feet of the statue were clay, and it was scorpion. And scorpion is the winepress, and Jesus is the feet. So is it Jesus' feet that are struck, and is he the statue of Daniel, or is that the statue of Daniel? This is the world leader. The world leader, are we the world leaders? Of course not. 40 persons worldwide. This is the Pope of Rome. This is Satan. And these are all the nations that follow suit. That's the real statue of Nebuchadnezzar. And it will be struck at the feet. You see it? Now. So the people of the world will know that the end has come. And Ellen White puts it even so, she says, they were furious and they wanted to lay hand upon us. And they tried to kill us because they knew that we had the truth. Make yourself ready for that time. The great hail in the car. I told you about more witnesses. So we went already to Gemini. We should be interested what happens on the 3rd of January 2026 in Gemini. Do we have also a sign that Richard was looking for there? So A6 is far away from Earth and just a time marker and symbol. But what is the real stone cut out without man's hands? It cannot be that really kills the left behind. So when it says that this stone was cut out without man's hands, meaning it is long before man's creation, that this thing existed. In the Genesis record of the creation, on the 4th day, Jesus created the moon and the stars and the sun. On the 6th day, he created man. So without man's hands, created, cut out, is the moon or the sun or the stars, but the sun and the stars are not stones, but the moon is a stone, a lifeless stone. And it says the stone cut out without man's hands, so that means before creation, 2 days earlier. As we learned, it will be the outer crust of the moon. The moon will explode. And inside the moon is the holy city, hidden before man was created. It's a disguise. It's a disguise. The whole moon is a disguise. But the moon is a lot of rocks covering the holy city, safe and soundly inside, until a certain day. And at this day, the moon is a full moon. I put exactly the hour there when it is a total and absolute full moon. And this position where it is a sign. You will see. It's a very special position. We knew already that the holy city that is inside the moon was called the bride in Revelation. Bride is the holy city. And Jupiter is the king's planet. The bride and the king. The king and the king twin, and the bride and the women and the wife's twin. That's a sign. That's a sign of marriage. Immediately we were in the car. This scene is in the limelight of the sun, because a full moon is only then when the sun fully shines upon it. So when the moon explodes, all the world will see that, because it's directly in the perfect sunlight. The travel home that we all expect since years. Our brother's first and only rapture dream states, I hold my wife's hands. Look at that. And at that moment, everything goes dark. I tell my wife to trust that we are safe. I feel as if static electricity is running through the metal of the car. I also tell them not to touch any metal parts. We stay still, waiting for it all to pass. Here we see Jesus united with his wife traveling home inside of the moon. That's the sign. And it is in Leo, there is a sickle as symbol as it is in Leo. In Leo we have the sickle asterism, and here we have the sickle. So we have a connection between those two signs. It's important. That's the metal parts that the wife shall not touch, because the sickle is the sickle of the vintage and brings death symbolically. And at that moment, everything goes dark, and this has a reason. Because Jesus describes us inside the holy city as being in a dark place. Imagine you are inside the moon. A lot of light, no? Inside the moon is no light. The sunlight does not reach inside of the moon's travel part, and the moon itself blew up to enact the great hail. Therefore, everything goes dark. And now comes the verse that speaks about that. And the city inside the moon had no need of the sun, even standing in the limelight. Neither of the moon, because the moon is gone, to shine in it. For who is our light? For the glory of God did lighten it, and the lamp is the light thereof. We are with Jesus in the holy city, in the rapture car, and he gives us the light, and we do not need this dark sunlight anymore. I hope you understand the depth of these things. The last call. Question. What are the consequences for us, and how do we understand the former rapture sign now? Now this is now for those that fix their minds on the cross rapture, because it is a sign, but it's not the rapture sign. What is it then? So we knew that these 5 days in Hanukkah, the 5 first days of Hanukkah, would be the entering in of the 5 wise virgins. And then the left behind have not enough oil in their lamps to come to enter into the door. And then the door is closed. What has now become of our beautiful Hanukkah rapture that we proclaim so fervently in various videos? No? As I stated a couple of times, the feast type of Hanukkah belongs to the 8 years from 2017 inclusive to 2024, and pointed to the patience of the saints in a time of a lot of light, but waiting. It was a time not only for the patience of the saints, but also of Jesus' patience that we bought with a prayer, because he was the one who had granted the prolongation of time since our 2016 prayer intercession. The 5 first days of Hanukkah that we understood as the 5 days rapture of the 5 wise virgins are typifying then the end of patience and the manifestation of God's wrath. There is 2 different flight themes. The modern Protestants, we fly. And that's the rapture. They mean the rapture. But there is another form of fleeing or flight in the Bible. As Ivy Loeb, this scientist who says that 3I Atlas is not a comet, he says, latest on Christmas, we all will know what Free Eye Atlas really is. I love the guy. He says the right things. We will know it, and the world will know it on Christmas. And we have this rapture sign 5 days from the 17th to the 21st of December. This ends 3 days before Christmas Eve. So indeed, we have to understand that what happens and begins there at the cross is the wrath of God. That's the problem. The 5 foolish virgins coming to enter in after solstice, December 21, will find the door closed as the parable declared. Which door? It's not the door of the holy city, the door of grace. This door must be the closed door of grace, because we can only have faith in the things not seen. It's defined in the Bible. Without faith, you cannot please God. But when your faith comes to seeing, then faith is not possible anymore, because you know by sure. Faith is the strong conviction about the things that are not seen. Therefore, when you see now Jesus coming and the whole world says, stones fall upon us, then nobody can change anymore. The wicked stay to be wicked, and the holy people stay to be sanctifying themselves. So this means when you did not see Jesus there in faith, then on this Hanukkah, the world will see Jesus there. And that's the end of faith and the end of grace. So I wrote it here down. But then all the world will see the face of Jesus hovering over the earth, and he will manifest his wrath against all those that have refused his sacrificial blood given on Calvary. That's this heavenly position. The closed door here isn't the rapture, but the doors of our chambers. This is how Isaiah puts it. Come, my people, God said to Isaiah, that he writes it, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself. Flee. Hide. Hide and flee. Yeah? As it were for a little moment, short time, until the indignation, the wrath, is overpast. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place. Well, wait for that. To punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Wait a minute. What does that mean? The earth covers the slain. That's called burial. What do you believe could take place there at the cross moment? Whoops. So, Daniel speaks also about that time. The time that never was. When you see Jesus hovering over the earth, I believe that's a time that never was, no? But that wakes up bad and good, guys. Daniel alludes to the time of great trouble in which we shall flee into the mountains. Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up. Michael, the archangel Michael, is Jesus Christ, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And now listen carefully. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And that's the good news now. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. When this terrible time has begun, and when the people of the earth recognize what Free Eye Atlas really is, latest at Christmas, as Amy will put it. Then the time of trouble has begun, and they will persecute us to kill us in the last moment.